Taste Daily. Taste the Daily.
Holidays nale adu namma GT Holidays da, South India's #1 travel brand.
Hello Vijay Garu.
Hi.
Welcome to Galatta Telugu. First of all, congratulations. Fabulous work in DAAKU MAHARAAJ. I watched the film yesterday and the kind of visuals the film had, I haven't seen that kind of a quality in a mainstream Telugu masala film. I think you really brought a new dimension and texture to a proper mass film and gave it an amazing visual quality, which is a rarity. So thank you for that and congratulations. You're getting a lot of appreciation. So in the pre-release event, in one of the pre-release events, you said that Bobby would give you utmost freedom and that he would never stop you. Only when you cross the border, he would step in and say, let's not do this. So what was that border?
That has happened like couple of times. Border in the sense, so once we know the scene, this is the scene, and we'll just figure out a sweet spot from where we start. Probably the staging, it might be the staging. We first fix the staging or placement of the artist. It starts from there. Or some scenes it's the staging of the scene. Some scenes it starts from a dialogue.
Okay.
Or whatever. So sometimes like I keep everything. I try to keep it very dark. I try to keep it very dark in the film. So when it goes too dark or when it goes too bright, for instance, sometimes I put a shield to myself. People won't accept if it's too dark. At those times, Bobby used to come and tell, bro, this dark we can try dark. So those kinds of things, he pushes us. I can recollect and tell you by the end of the interview.
Sure.
What all?
But why dark? What is this fascination with dark?
It's off late, whatever I see. இப்போ கொஞ்ச நாளா பார்த்தீங்கன்னா off late, be it Salar, KGF or even Pushpa, the dark trend is happening. The low key, high contrast dark trend is happening. So I just want to try something like that, something very high contrast in the film.
Okay. So what was the very first conversation between you and Bobby?
We wanted to work earlier. This film is not like the first time we tried to collaborate. We tried to collaborate in Walter Viraya.
Okay.
So at the time my film Doctor hadn't released. So but we tried to work together. It didn't happen for some reason. And before Jailer's release, he reached out to me and told, I have a film, we'll work together and all that. And then lots of factors, like it went on. We're not very certain that whether it will take off or not. So it went on and somehow we landed here. And I don't particularly remember what was the first conversation. But one thing he was very clear, he wanted something new. He didn't want it to do the regular way which he is used to. And even I didn't want to do what I was doing earlier. So both of us wanted to do something new from our ends, from each other's ends.
Right. So I had this feeling because Bobby and Nagavamshi, they kept repeating in promotions that they want to break away from the usual look of a Telugu film, and they were like, we want to create something as cool as Jailer, as cool as Vikram. We want this film to be a reference for others. And obviously your work in Jailer is phenomenal. That too, obviously, again, I keep repeating, for a proper star driven film to have that kind of a visual quality, that unique, it's just not there to serve the star, but the visuals, they have a personality, they have a character of its own. So this was my assumption, that they were very impressed with your work in Jailer, and people also have taken like huge what do you call, liking for that kind of visual, right? So I was thinking that they were so impressed with Jailer that they might be wanting to recreate similar style.
No, but I don't think that was, because that was what they had in mind, because both of them, even Nagavamshi, we wanted to collaborate earlier, even before Doctor's release. So I had come here for discussion for Bhimla Naik at that time.
Okay.
So both of them, Jailer was not just the reference point for both of them, because all three of us, like me and the producer, me and the director, wanted to collaborate even before all of this happened.
Okay.
So we never tried to create Jailer. What I feel what he meant was, he wanted something offbeat for a mainstream film. Like for instance, Jailer, the camera doesn't move. It's kind of a rarity for a mainstream film. The camera is very static.
No handheld shots,
no handheld shots. Only the climax fight has certain bit of handle. Apart from that, there is no much handle. So they wanted that kind of a treatment which is slightly off the mainstream. So that's what they meant, and we didn't particularly stick to create like what both of us had done earlier. So we just went with the flow. We didn't have like proper we have to do this. Jailer had one particular theme, right?
Yeah.
Center framing blocks, symmetry, center framing blocks. We never stuck to anything. Like I made up my mind, it shouldn't look like Jailer. Because then it gets very repetitive, very monotonous. Okay, even if I see somebody film, okay, this guy is going to do this. So it shouldn't like be in the same page. It should be something else.
But this lack of movement or lack of handheld shots and giving priority to static shots, how much of it comes from you and how much of it comes from the director?
Oh, you're talking about Jailer or?
No, generally the kind of movements that you go with. Even Jailer, okay, you have spoken about Jailer. Say something in DAAKU MAHARAAJ. How much of it is you and how much of it is the director?
No, I think it's a very collaborative process. Like sometimes Bobby comes up with some references he has in mind, like some film he had seen or something. But I just go with the flow. If I feel after reading the script, after reading the scene, if I feel, for instance, there is one scene where he goes and wants revocation. So in that scene, Bobby came up with the idea of what if he should be in silhouette. What if the light he gets revealed in some light, and then only we see him. So that was the starting point for the scene. So the scene happens in the same place where we show revocation earlier.
Right.
So
there is butcher
place. So then we came up with the idea of one log is next to him, so he hits the log. Once he hits the log, the light streaks in. And then I came up with the idea of like once he talks, let's not keep him very clear. Handle shaky, out of focus to focus. I was a little skeptical like how Bala sir will agree to it. But he is like very open. He is very open in the sense like his knowledge of cinema is like vast, which I was very surprised.
He spoke to you about Vittorio.
That was the first conversation we had and got connected. He was a big fan of Storaro and all the classic films and everything. So then I came up with the idea of handle, shaky, out of focus to focus, blurry image. Still, we don't show him. Till after we show him also his silhouette. We don't show his face. It takes a while, like 15-20 seconds, till we see his face. So that's what it's very and Venkat Master, the master, he played a major role in the film. So he was there throughout the film. So he thinks like a director. He's more of an action director kind of thing. Like you see the fights, that you don't have like all the so-called, there's one term here, if you know, item in the item irukku. So they come up with the term of item.
Yeah.
So he's not too much into it. Even he didn't want to do what he had been doing earlier.
Right.
So all of us wanted to break the shell which we are doing earlier. So he made one thing very clear. Let's build the drama, and even one hit from the hero makes a huge impact. Like what happens in Basha's interval. No? So Basha's interval doesn't have big action sequences, but how it builds up to the drama, and then one punch from him, this guy goes and hits the lamp post. So that gives you it hits a crescendo. So that kind of a treatment we wanted to have.
No, the greatest thing is that fights and all, at least for an NBK film, they are very grounded.
Yeah.
Okay, compared to his previous film, we have this set standard, right? If you hit some 10 feet or 5 feet. In this film, like, it's all very grounded. There are no cars flying in the air. Like 10 people are not flying in the air. That and all for me was very fresh. And you said something, right? The starting point would be different for each scene. Can you remember like the starting points for some of the sequences, like say the whole fire episode?
Fire episode, Bobby had told me when I came for the narration for the first time. So he told me imagine the whole forest is on fire, and earlier one shot he wanted, but we didn't actually do it because it didn't fit well with the narrative was.
Okay.
These people come in car and it looks like fireflies in distance, and then as they approach, it looks like fire. So that was the starting point.
Okay.
So then the idea was nice. Fireflies. Okay, what if we have ember throughout the scene? So you have sparks everywhere. The fire ends up somewhere. if the car comes and these people are here, you have 1 or 2 trees burning, but the forest is burning, like what is happening in LA now.
Yeah.
So the fire is happening somewhere in the distance. You just get the sparks and embers flying
So
towards
far,
you, far away. It's happening far away. So from there it started off. And the idea was with him. The router idea was having a forest fire was with Bobby. His idea was forest fire and then the interval, because the interval he wanted for fire and snow to meet.
Snow, yeah.
So we had all the generating. If you see, we placed in such a way that the intercuts, it cuts back to back. Bala sir and
He shoots the leopard, here he gets shot.
By the leopard. So it started from there. The fire scene started from there. And that's what it was there. That was there in the script already.
The desert fight where he kills the elder brother.
That one we had another idea. Actually, we had another idea with a glider plane, small glider kind of thing. Then
What?
What is it called? Cessna kind of a flight. The small one. The film happens in 90s types.
Right.
So the one with the single propeller in the center,
fan in the center. That one. Okay.
We had something like that. And then as we do, we keep on jamming every day. That happens after the shoot, before shoot, during shoot. When this shot is happening, when it takes logistics wise, if they're putting some rope or some lighting happens, then we'll be talking about the next scene. What if we do this? What if we do that scene 41 this way? So I actually forgot when this turned from Cessna to no Cessna. I forgot, but sandstorm was there in the idea. Like he had it in paper. Like he wanted a sandstorm, so that was all there. But the way we achieved it was quite tough. Tough in the sense like we didn't know how to achieve it. So most of the scenes we were like, just jump into it. We'll see how it works. So for instance, the snow thing, which you asked for. The snow was completely a set. The whole scene was a set. We didn't go to any snow place. So we built a set in Annapurna. So it was like 120 by 80 feet size of set. And all the snow is crystal salt. Whatever you have in floor is crystal salt. And Avinash, the production designer,
Avinash Kolla.
He's amazing. Like he's one of the best in India. And he did an amazing job. So we just built a set with all the snow and foam machine and everything we created. That's what nobody had clue like how to go about it. And whatever depth you have in that, it's wall painted.
Wow.
Like the olden films, no? How we do.
Yeah. Oh, like the background was wall painted.
Yeah, wall painted. No VFX in that. Hardly any VFX.
Okay. But depth and all, it looked like proper.
He has one amazing team. So there was one painter, who's part of his team. So he had created, and when we saw on set, we were blown away. So my task was to not mess it up. That's it. So I think I was a little scared to deliver it properly.
Yeah. So how would you light that setup? Because the depth is obviously not there, and you have to obviously ensure that it doesn't look fake.
Yeah.
How did you light that?
It took a while for us to figure out. That's what I told. We didn't know how to do half the process. Only we understand. This is where we'll have to end. So there's a saying, no. To have a successful journey, you don't need a map. All you need is a compass. So we always had a compass. Like we wanted to know we are heading in this direction. That's it. Whether some parts will be difficult, some parts won't be difficult. So somehow we figured it out. Like we lit the subject, and then it was a tough task. If we go too technically, we had a color meter. So constantly we read every single point of where the light is hitting, spectrometer. So every single point we'll match the XY to the wall, and we'll check the false color here on camera and match the exposure and all that. It was a very tough task for us.
It sounds very complicated.
But that's what we get paid for. So we can't complain about that.
Nice. And the fire scene, how did you like light source and all? Because you still had to maintain those darks, right?
Yeah.
And it's still very dark. Like literally there are some shots where it's just the face and sparks and background is just dark.
Yeah. No, we lit the place. That's what. Once you have an amazing team, the DP's job is very easy. That's what happened here. So we had one amazing production designer called Avinash, where when people think it's VFX, it was live. Where people think it's live, it's VFX. So the fire scene, few of my friends asked, how did you create the fire when that first glimpse had come? DP friends. All that was live. Live in the sense we put sky lights on the ground. We put the area fill the area with smoke and had that fire effect on the light. So my gaffer came up with the idea and we just filled the place with smoke and just kept the lights and facing upwards.
Okay.
So the whole area looked like it's lit.
It's lit, like literally the ground is lit.
Ground is lit. So you feel that the infinity is full of fire.
Right.
And then we hardly had 6 or 7 trees with controlled pyro effects, pipes and gas, so that 6 or 7 trees were lit with fire.
Okay.
The rest are VFX. The foreground layering was sparks which he had for real. Extra sparks we added in VFX.
Nice.
So the VFX guy, he is the supervisor. He's amazing. He's very good as well. So he did the leopard. If you see the snow leopard,
it's very real.
So it was done. I think some company in Sweden did that leopard. He was very meticulous. Constantly we had the Zoom calls and everything. So we wanted to make it very real, and we made sure the shots are not too lengthy so that it's already what they had done was a fantastic job. But we made sure it just stays in the sweet spot. You want to see more of the leopard, but it cuts there.
Yeah.
So that's what I think it made it real. Did you feel it real or?
It felt very real.
Okay, that's
it felt, at least it didn't look like VFX at all. It was very real.
Yeah.
It was very well done. Recently, I watched this RRR documentary, Beyond and Behind. And in that, K.G. Sendil Kumar, the film's DoP, he says that one of the most challenging things for him was the interval sequence where there were so many elements on screen, like fire is there. Because of fire there is smoke, and they had to and there was a fountain in the background, so they had to create different layers of lighting for each element on screen. A character is standing, you light him separately. There is fire in the background, you light him separately. And obviously there is smoke that is distracting. There is a background prop like a fountain, you light that separately. So I'm pretty sure there were scenarios like this for you where you had to use layers of lighting, right? Like what were those scenes like in addition to this fire one?
One was the village massacre. So village massacre, we wanted to have that moonlight as well, because when the scene starts, there's no fire. When Bobby Deol and gang enter, there is no fire. After they enter, there is fire. So for me, I need to show the village before the fire and after fire, but it shouldn't look like two different lightings. So before the fire, it's cold. After the fire, you see mix of cold and warm. It was little. Some of my team members also felt it's little over the top, but we just went with it because the colors was very sure. It worked. So we constantly had to maintain that blue hitting on people and the foreground fire. That was the layering part. Cold and warm. But so layering is, I think RRR was very complicated. We kept it very simple. Complicated in the sense like they had so much of work. Here we didn't have that much of VFX work. So we tried to keep it very simple. I tried to keep it very simple so that everybody understands the lighting. It's not just one person understands the lighting and me or Gaffer or my team. Whoever sees, they should understand the lighting so that it's easier for everybody to work. It's a thought process that should be difficult. The final result, execution should be simple.
There is this quote also, Martin Scorsese quote. Simple is hard.
Like, true.
Creating something simple is the most difficult thing. That is what I infer from what you said. Thought process is difficult, but the end result has to look simple. Nice.
Because you'll have to make 100 people understand what has to be done. It's not like the HODs alone understand. Every single person has to understand so that the process is easy. Otherwise, it gets very tough. Because I've done that earlier. I don't want to do it again.
And see, obviously this is a proper mainstream mass movie and we need those mass moments. We need those iconic, money shots. We need those shots where, okay, the hero is standing there. I have to feel that, we call them, those low angle shots where hero is there and people are going mad. And there are many of those shots in DAAKU also. Like obviously that Maggie packet thing and all, when he is walking and everybody is bowing down to him, and after he cuts off the head of one guy after the village massacre, and he stands before that statue, and there is this shot where the camera goes above and the statue's his head is placed over That's not a very conventional thing, but it's done really well. So how did you approach these heroic shots? Because obviously Jailer has already set a standard with all those epic shots of Rajini, epic shots. So how did you approach those the idea to create an iconic imagery in DAAKU?
See, if you see in the whole film, whatever you feel, generally we feel iconic, are mostly close-ups. If you see, it's more about the faces than the lighting or the camera movement or anything. For instance, the shot, the DAAKU statue shot, it's there in the script now. So this guy turns into DAAKU. I mean, the DAAKU Maharaj. He turns into Maharaj. So that's what obviously the script needs. If you see, there's actually no continuity in the series of shots. So first the camera comes from the horse to him, the headless statue to him. He's standing in front of the horse, and it cuts back to other people and comes back again. There is one dialogue that bridges that says that is when engineer turned into DAAKU. And then if you see, his placement is somewhere else. So it's not that that can be, because it's a narrative. We have the liberty of this happening with the narration. So we actually take, if you see logically, he's not standing there, but you cannot achieve a shot like that when he's standing the place where he's standing. So we just went with the liberty and just shoot.
Works, yeah.
It works. So it's there in the script. Like if this shot, how will you show? It's the reverse process. From the end result, we come to the shot. Sometimes it happens in the flow. Like for me, the shot where the highest point where I felt this scene is working was when the small girl walks back in the interval, the Maggie, just before he comes with the Maggie.
Yeah.
So when she walks back, this is what happened. Like we hadn't cracked that scene. What is the high point in the scene? So Venkat Master was standing there, and he used to come up with some ideas on set. So I was asking this scene once more. Me and Bobby, both of us were like, something else is needed and all that. Then this guy was, what if she goes here and comes back in reverse? I got very excited. I thought, this is amazing. This is going to be the highest point in the film. And we'll shoot and all that. And the girl went and come back. If you see, the shot is very simple. It's a drama that builds to the shot.
Yeah.
It's just like he's walking, and the same thing gets repeated in the climax.
When
the girl went in the climax, everybody started clapping, shouting, howling and all that. And they knew that he's going to come back again. So my approach, like what I had in mind for the mass scenes, like where one, we can play with the light. Another, after shooting like 1 or 2 days, I realized he's an amazing performer. Very, very underused and very misunderstood is what I felt. Because wherever he performs subtle, it's like amazing in the sense, like when I kept telling my friends, who are Chennai, they weren't too convinced. Like, yeah, he acts well and all that, but no, he is more than what you guys think. After you see this film, you will realize like what a great performer he is. So we were like, there's a shot where he just takes the sword here in the climax. So I was so kicked about those shots. He has this very sharp features of his eye, and his eyes are very powerful as well. So it just goes with the flow. We didn't have any most of the shots were which worked big time in theatre were done on set, like on the floor. Where the horse shot, for instance, he comes in the horse that comes in the trailer as well, where it comes between, we see his eyes between the ears.
The ears. Yeah.
It was just on the fly.
Okay.
So we were just following or something. He just went down and came up. Like he didn't go as down as that. So then on the fly, like we just had to bring the camera a little lower so that his eyes get covered. So it was a phantom shot. So we just got one moment, I think. The camera the arm went a little low and quickly came up. So at that point, we got that shot. So lots of shots were on the fly. I think it just happened.
Nice. What was the most challenging sequence to shoot?
The whole film. I think every part was very challenging in the film. Very demanding and challenging. I think Sandstorm was very tough for us, because We shot the whole sandstorm in Hyderabad. None of the desert was shot in Rajasthan.
Okay.
All of it was shot in here, Hyderabad.
Where? How did you recreate
There's
that?
a place, I forgot the name of the place. It's somewhere beyond RFC.
Okay.
It's like a quarry kind of a place, open land. So when he had gone to Rajasthan, it was monsoon and they were recording highest rainfall in the last 30 years or something. So constant rains, so we couldn't shoot there. We came back. So we came back and Avinash and me, we decided we'll put a place here, open land. And
so the village,
everything is Hyderabad.
Oh, nice. And that prison, that bus escape, that also Hyderabad.
It's the same place where the village happens. It's the exact same place.
Oh, nice.
So we put sand for around 20 acres or something.
Oh, so it's not like it is an empty land?
It is an empty land with the terrain of Hyderabad, the rocks and other stuff.
Okay.
So we had to level the ground, put the area with sand, fill it up and make it like desert.
Oh, wow. And can you tell me about your grading process? Because the browns and all, they looked like that warm tone of that film. It looked, you have little experience with that in Jailer also, no? That desert scene. I'm sure that must have come in handy. But tell me about the grading process of
so the grading, the whole film, we actually I wanted the footage to look like graded because my colorist, I used to tell me like your footage the colorist's work should be very minimal. He told me that in Jailer. And Andreas.
He is the same one you've been working doctor and also same, right?
Yeah, he's the same guy. So he told, don't do the same thing. I told him, I don't want to do the same thing again. Should do something different. Different sense, not from the others, at least from what I've done before. So we made sure the footage looks like final grade. At least to some contrast wise or colors wise. So we had shot it like almost the final. Then he came up and changed the look again.
Oh, okay.
Now the footage doesn't look like the final grade. The final grade doesn't look like the footage, but it's close to it, but not the final. So most of the looks, I think the major credit goes to him. Like most of the he was the colorist, so he just gave his best, I guess. So he wanted it to look brown, the desert brown, and the climax and the glass house where the whole narration happens.
Which one? The hospital.
So he made it very cold. It actually doesn't look cold in the footage.
Okay.
So he made it very cold, that blue. One thing I was particular, I didn't want cyan at all.
You didn't want?
Cyan color.
Okay.
Teal and orange. It's done and dusted, so I didn't want that blue. So let's have that blue. We were like mocking us, Ujala blue. We want that Ujala blue kind of blue, but not exactly the Ujala.
No, I also like how you play with curtains and lighting also there. There's one shot, one low angle shot, the curtain just opens and that and all was done really.
So that's what we went like. It's like if you leave a kid inside a chocolate factory, no? We were like, whatever comes to our mind, we just did it. Instantly, like Bob is very collaborative in that way. Like that's what I told. He gives us absolute freedom. Every technician. See, one thing, if he doesn't trust, he doesn't do that. Once he has the trust, he gives you absolute freedom and blind trust, which actually I'm very grateful for, because he completely trusted me. I don't know for what reason. He would be asking me, Anna, okay, do you think it works? I said, if it works, sometimes we will get little doubtful, no? When somebody keeps on asking. Then after a point, if I get doubtful and say, I'm okay, do you have an objection? No, I just wanted to cross check. If you're okay, then we'll go with it. So Bobby gives me absolute freedom, not just me, like whoever he trusts. If he trusts somebody fully, he just trusts them blindly. So I'm actually very grateful for that to him. So even when he is a little doubtful, he comes up with the question, are you okay? He keeps asking me. Sometimes I get carried away. In the sense I'll be doubtful after somebody asks you like a couple of times. We'll also be doubtful. Probably we are wrong at this point. Then I tell him, I am sure. Are you sure or not? He will, no, if you are sure, okay. So we have that kind of a trust with each other. And sometimes when you go overboard, like he knows the audience pulse very well. So he knows what the audience want. So he'll come up with a dialogue or some bridging will be there. Sometimes I see whatever happens, like I'm from Tamil Nadu, Tamil.
Yeah.
So for me, the sensibilities of a Telugu film, I'm not like 100% into it. So
Sure.
So at those points, he knows this border. This will work for Telugu. You don't know. He'll put a border there. He'll no. Bro, this works. Trust me, this works.
Like what? Like, can you give an example?
So when after the village massacre, when he comes inside, dashing, he comes in the horse, dashing inside. So I wanted like the horse going up the stairs alone. Probably will have. He wanted no. It should be like the door should break and he should come dashing in. But he was very right. In theatre, that was like extraordinary. Then after I saw it, before the theatre, I understood in the like how we complement each other. That's what I wanted to do. So after the village massacre, we shot that Rajasthan, the palace first. So breaking in, we shot. So then this portion we shot. Village massacre we shot. So now I felt that needs a bridge. Him going.
Okay.
So then we shot that on the last day of that village, not village, another fight scene. So if you see, there are like 3 shots where the horse running in front of the headlight happens. When he throws and catches the axe, there are like 3 cuts where he's riding the horse. These people are coming in jeep. That comes in between.
That's
so
the bridge.
Now that intercut gives you the high. Slowly speaks, and then it's the high. So Ruben had used it very well. So there is one shot, camera lands on him, you cut, the horses are riding, he's riding on the horse, cut, again it goes to him, again cut, it goes to the palace. So that's how like, it's very collaborative with Bobby, like very, so the Bobby, me and Venkat Master, all 3 will be jamming on set, and this writer Chakri. 4 of us will be constantly talking about the scenes, how this has to happen, how that has to happen. And I think it's a very healthy process, I guess.
Super. How was your working relationship with Balaya like?
So when I had come for this film, like I've seen like 3 films of his, last 3 films alone. Akanda, I went to the theatre without any idea, and I really liked how he had done in the interval. It was like mind blowing. So after the film, I sent a long message to DP at that time. Looks amazing and all that. So I've seen his last 3 films. So my understanding of his films were different. So after I came on set, like I was like, this, he's very under. I still feel he's very underrated. Probably this film is having that, but he's very underrated, I felt.
As an actor,
yeah. Like he doesn't get that credit for what he performs. So, and on set, I was stunned by his professionalism. So he comes on time, like he wakes up at 3 or 3:30 in the morning, and he has his daily routine, puja and workout and all that. And he comes to set at 5:30. So whatever time you shoot, if he shoot by 7, he'll still be there at 5:30. His car will be there at 5:30. And if you say shot is at 7 or 7:15, if you have the shot at 7:15, he'll come sit there by 7:10. He'll give you his presence, and he's very straightforward. Okay. He doesn't want people to be like faking any kind of respect in front of him. He can easily spot that.
Okay.
So he wants everybody to do this. I'm an actor. I'm come here to work. You are a technician. You come do your job. Why is this respect kind of thing happening and all that?
Okay.
So he doesn't like all that. He's very straightforward, and he doesn't have a filter.
Yeah.
He's very true.
Yeah.
It's very people misunderstand that. He's very true to what he is as a person who is, and extremely professional. There'll be so much of hardships on set. He wouldn't show it out to you. For instance, the horse riding. We kept on riding in horses again and again and again. He would not complain a bit, or he wouldn't ask, "Is it over?" After a point, anybody would get tired or fed up. Like he'll be sitting there for 2 hours, 3 hours
on the horse.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 hour, 1.5 hours. Sometimes 2 hours, he'll get down. Probably something like that. He would never complain. And if you see, the whole film is very hard. Full of smoke, fire. I remember one scene where the first schedule, that kitchen fight in the school that happens, that was the first schedule.
Yeah.
So he was hitting people like the people around him. He's hitting them with fire sticks. It's a close place. So the camera cells were like far away. We shot like 1 or 2 takes. I stepped into that area. It's like 2 rooms. I stepped from this room to that room. Once I entered in, I couldn't open my eyes because all the fighters left. After the shot, the fighters would be going out. He'll be still standing there. Once I entered, I couldn't open my eyes. Full of smoke. It's so... Eyes got very sensitive, full of red. And I couldn't open my eyes and I stepped out. He never complained about that. He never complained or asked why going for a one more. What is the reason? He never asked about that. And the fire is real. So if it's this close, you feel that heat, so much of heat.
Right.
So he has 2 sticks.
Yeah.
So much as heat is coming, but he didn't complain. He just keeps on going. And I was a little worried. If he hits, the pieces would come hitting on him. He wouldn't mind that.
Wow.
And all for his age, he inside I think he's around 25.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel like he's around that, and he's very close with my assistants also.
He calls him bro. You said in that speech. Yeah.
He calls him bro, and he's very close with them. Even yesterday when we met him. So he was saying, "How are these 2 guys?" They came. He also met him, but he was like, "I got very well. Went on. I'm very good with them." And he'll be like very chilled with them, bro. What's happening? What are we doing? He'll be in that kind of a conversation with them.
Nice. So, how many people are there in your team, and how do you delegate?
7 people.
The core team that has been working with you since.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you delegate work to them? Like, what are the?
No, everybody has a specific set of jobs. Couple of people take care of the lighting. If there are 2 cameras, Sherwin takes the handle, Abbas takes the gimbal or Jimmy. So,
okay.
Sometimes I go for it, depending on the situation and scenario. So sometimes I go for it, or if either of them take it. And the other assistant, Jayant, takes care of lighting. Nivas is in charge of the camera settings and the placement and all that. And Ajit and Balan, they take care of the background stuff, whatever happens, the other effects and everything. Govind, there's another guy, 2 more people here from Hyderabad. One is Govind and Subbu. So they also take care. One guy, Subbu's in charge of the same thing, background stuff. Subbu takes care of the look, where artists have to look and their placements, positions and all. So everybody has a very specific set of work. And when it comes to post, like Jayant and Abbas are taking care of the DI part. Prasanna, Jayant and Abbas. There's another assistant of mine. So he's again joined back. He had done an independent film, now he's back. So they take care of the post-production. So that's how everybody has a very specific set of job.
It's not like it's running so well.
Yeah. And it's like one system. So
super.
But everybody will chip in. Like if there is absolute necessity, they'll share their work. But the system is going on well.
What's all the technology that you used for this film? What are the cameras, lenses?
We used the ARRI 35, the new one, 35, and master anamorphic. We shot on anamorphic lenses.
Okay.
So master anamorphic and ARRI 35. That's a setup, and they have all these texture kind of things. Probably that is what is giving that period. It's not a very period. We didn't go for a very period look, but you see there will be lots of film grains.
Grainy, yeah.
That's because we shot it on camera. We shot it grainy. Nice. So that's what we went with whatever we felt. Even the ARRI guys were shocked. They were surprised. You're using nostalgia. I said yes, nostalgic, but isn't it too grainy? I said no. It's looking grainy. It's okay. That's why you have the setting, no? If it's bad, why do you give it in camera?
So it's like a setting in the camera to go for, and you can control how much gain.
No. Once you have it. It's a hard burnt. You cannot control it and you can't reduce the percentage. No.
That's risky, no, actually.
That's what we went, whatever we feel like. We went with our intuition.
For which scenes?
The whole flashback, second half fully.
Okay.
So the first half also has grains. It's called soft nostalgic. It has slight grains. Probably this has like more 30 or 40% more.
So that's a camera setting.
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually very risky and very cool that you guys did it.
We just went whatever we felt, we did it.
See, because Mank and all, David Fincher's Mank, they shot the film in 8K and in post they converted into like grain, and they added a lot of grain. They added a lot of, if you remember film reels, some reels will be torn. They'll be like cigarette patches, like they shot a very pristine quality, and then they made it look imperfect and grainy. It's very cool that you guys shot actually with
and
grains.
we went little overboard. Used lots of filters. See, lots of glow and haze will be happening everywhere. It's quite risky for the focus pullers. And okay, we just gave it a try. It worked.
It really did work.
And in this film, it's very surprising. So we wanted to do the whole of the post here in Hyderabad. So we didn't want to step out to Mumbai. Like Jailer, we had done it there. Then the producer came up with the idea. One day he suddenly called, Nagvamsi called and told, Vijay, what if we do it with the Jailer's colorist? I said, no, he's in Mumbai. No, I'll bring him here. And that's how we brought Andy here to Annapurna and made him great. It's very, you need to have a producer like him who understands the value of color grading and who pushes that. Somebody has to push that. Border.
Instead of just finishing it off, No, I really like that that quality in him. That's really cool. What are some shots that you are very proud of in DAAKU?
I like the horse shot which you told, the eye shot. I like that. And
there is a very cool shot when he enters the kitchen also.
What shot?
When he enters the kitchen for the first time,
the sparks
and all, it looks very good.
For me, lots of shots have been done. Whatever the curtain shot, I like very much because we made it blow. Like we blew the air, we made sure it covers him, and he's very cooperative. See, all these shots were possible because he's cooperative. Yeah, that is one shot where it just goes in a fly. People wouldn't have noticed it. Probably nobody they'll notice. He shoots with that assault rifle, and he's shooting the climax. So the bullet goes and hits the curtain. So I was standing somewhere near the curtain and I saw the bullet hitting the curtain. I thought it's the recoil. I mean, not the bullet. The shell. The shell alone goes. Release shell alone goes and hits. I saw that and looks nice. We'll shoot this, and I kept the camera behind that curtain. So I told. So the curtain is somewhere here. He is pointing somewhere here. If he shoots, you will have to aim it in such a way it has to go hit the curtain just before the camera. So he gets excited for all these shots. So he made sure, like after 1 or 2 times, I shot and recorded and showed it to him. Then I gave it to him. He was like a child, like playing a game. He was so into it, and it was during break time. He didn't even go for lunch. He was like, well, let's finish this. He's aiming, shooting here, checking there, aiming, shooting, checking there. That's one shot I really like in the film, but it just goes in a... there is one shot. So, one shot which I really liked was when he rides the horse and enters the palace, it goes in the stairs, up the stairs.
Okay.
So, there is one FPV shot where the camera comes from long, all the fight is happening, and the horse goes up. The camera passes through all these people and crosses him and goes. So we had to trim it because of the length. That shot was very cool. It looked like a video game.
Nice.
So I feel we had many cool shots. Like it goes. See, there's a saying, no, kill your darlings.
Yeah.
No other go.
Yeah.
Just sacrifice it for the film.
So what's next?
Next on the Nelson's Jailer 2. So அதோட work தான் போகுது.
So pre-production is going on.
Yeah, it's going on.
Super. You have like already standards have been set very high, so you have to
hopefully very
because the standards are for Jailer and all. It was new, but Jailer 2 we already know how Jailer looks, right? So it's going to be more challenging for you to to
the expectations will be high, so we'll have to go surpass that. Hopefully, we'll see how it comes.
So generally in commercial films, let's be very honest, regardless of how cool or great the image looks, the director walks away with the appreciation, and obviously the star walks away. It's very rare that visuals get appreciated. Shots get discussed. It's very rare. That too for like an out and out masala film. How did you arrive at that kind of zone.
When we had shot Doctor, like every week or after probably the next 3 weeks after the release, every now and then we used to get call from DPs, directors and everything. Like we get a call, Nelson was shooting Beast at the time. So when he gets it, first they call the director, then they call me. So either me or him, we'll call each other, today who spoke? Oh, this guy spoke, okay, he spoke, and all that will happen. One day I got a call from Rajiv Menon. So Rajiv sir called and he was like talking for half an hour. He was starting to appreciate this is nice, whatever he liked and all that. And he told me one piece of advice, which I took very seriously. I got the same advice from Ravi Varman sir also. So both of them, it was very similar. Well, I'll just comprise this and tell you what both of them meant.
Sure. No, take time also, it's okay.
So first Rajiv sir, what he told was, you are doing whatever you feel like doing, irrespective of it being a mainstream film or all that. Don't change what you're doing now. Whatever you feel like you want, you are going with one style or something. You stuck to a style for this film, and just because you're doing a mainstream film or big artist film, don't change your style. And I don't believe in the commercial for cinema. I mean, what do you say? Commercial cinema for photography. I don't believe in that. So he told, don't restrict yourself or don't change yourself with experimentation. Do whatever you like, even in mainstream films. Only then you can sustain. Even Ravi Varman sir told the same thing. However big the film is, however big the artist is, you don't change your style much and deliver what is needed for the film. So I took the advice from them very seriously. So probably that should go on like.
No, please. That is what is separating you from other DPs. And I genuinely believe that Jailer, DAAKU, they are going to create a trend. I'm pretty sure. I don't have any qualm saying this on record. I'm pretty sure in the next 1 year or 2 years, we'll see a lot of films trying to mimic this look. Especially for DAAKU and all, it's going to happen now that people have, because visuals are like the center point of DAAKU's appreciation. So I'm pretty sure you look at it, even you will know that in 1 year or 1.5 years, as films will, now that films will be made, the films that will be made, that will be starting in the next 2 to 3 months, they are going to keep this as a reference and they'll try to recreate it. That's going to happen for sure. That impact you guys have created. Yeah. Congrats.
Thank you.
So, and what's the best compliment you got for DAAKU?
Best compliment na, see, there is one person who when I finish a work or something, I show it to that person, like how it's come out and all that. I know that person for almost 10 years now. Okay, 9-10 years I know that person, and good DP, very good DP as well, DOP now. So always the compliment which I get are very critical in the sense, this is not good, this is not okay, this could have been better, this is nice, but still you can aim for something more, and all of this is the compliments I've always been getting. After shooting 1 or 2 schedules of this film, the person, like I showed the DP some of the shots, and the DP was like very to my surprise, like I know I won't get a good compliment from the person, and this time the DP is like, your work is very good, you improved a lot, it looks very good, this is your best work. Constantly I've been hearing this for a year, again and again, and after the trailer or some cut I showed, and it was complimenting, this is your best work, now you cracked that craft, the framing is good, the lighting is good. Even the other day after seeing the trailer, I got a call, the grading is good, overall it looks very good, this is your best work, you've done it very well. I was like, Appa, finally we've reached to that level of,
you have reached, achieved.
Yeah. That person is my wife, DP Yamini.
Beautiful. Who's sitting right there? Super. Finally, you have achieved.
Yeah.
This is like winning a national award, something.
Yeah.
Like
seriously,
that. Yeah.
Seriously, I was little worried after seeing the grade. Probably she'll be saying the grade is not good, but she said it looks good. See, honestly, for a fact, it's not just my wife. I know she's a better DP than me. Her imagery is very good, very artistically fantastic. Because generally, whatever colors he chooses, the palette, it'll be a very simple shot. only some people you get connected to the image. See the image, not just because of she is my wife. This is the truth. You get connected to the image. It has one international touch to it. Me, I'm just one masala guy. So
both of you are good.
No, we know what we deliver, what we can deliver. So when getting a compliment from her is like, okay, now we've come to that level. We shouldn't go down anymore.
Super. Very happy for you. Very happy for you. Enjoy this success and keep doing the great work that you keep doing and keep pushing the bar for cinematography.
Thank you so much.
You are already doing that. Please continue to like be the same. Don't change.
No, sure.
Okay. Thank you so much. All the very best.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Taste Daily. Taste the Daily.
Holidays nale adu namma GT Holidays da, South India's #1 travel brand.